Ever feel like your money just vanishes? Poof, 1 minute it's there, the next it's gone. Well, today we're going full-on detective. We're going to uncover the invisible psychological forces that are pulling the strings on your wallet.
You know that feeling, right? That moment you check your bank account and just stare. You could have sworn there was more in there. It feels like a total mystery. But here's the thing. The clues aren't in your bank statements. They're actually hidden deep inside your own mind. So let's go find them.
And this right here is our jumping off point. Forget all the complicated spreadsheets and financial models for just a second. The author Morgan Housel puts it perfectly. Managing money is deeply, fundamentally human. It's way less about what you know and way more about how you behave.
Okay, so let's officially start our investigation into this money mystery. The big question we're trying to answer is, why is it just so darn easy to spend more than we plan to? Let's dig in.
First off, if any of this is ringing a bell, I want you to know you are definitely not alone. I mean, check this out. A recent survey found that a whole third of people between 30 and 49 have more credit card debt than they have in savings. And look, this isn't about being bad with money, not at all. It's about these powerful, invisible mental traps that literally all of us can fall into.
All right, let's meet our first lineup of suspects. I like to call them cognitive glitches. Think of them like little bugs in the software of your brain, the ones that completely mess up how you think about money.
First on the list is something called mental accounting. It's basically our brain's kind of weird internal filing system for cash. So instead of seeing all money as the same, we automatically sort it into these different mental buckets or accounts.
And this is the perfect example of how that works. A rational brain knows that a dollar is a dollar, right? It's all the same. But our brains? Nope. Our brains see salary money as the serious stuff, for bills. But then birthday money or a tax refund? Oh, that's fun money. That's a bonus. It feels totally different, so we treat it differently, even if we've got debt that needs paying off.
Okay, our next glitch is opportunity cost neglect. This is a big one. So when you see that shiny new phone you want, your brain goes laser-focused on the phone itself. What it doesn't do is automatically think about what you're giving up to get it. That same cash could have been, say, a weekend getaway or a nice chunk added to your savings. We get so caught up in the immediate prize that we totally ignore the hidden trade-off.
So it's clear our brain's internal calculator is a little buggy, but that's only part of the story. There's another force at play here, and honestly, it might be even more powerful. The actual feeling we get when we spend money.
Behavioral scientists have a great name for this, the pain of paying. And it makes perfect sense, right? Our brains are just hardwired to avoid loss. So when you physically hand over cash, it triggers this tiny negative feeling, a little sting. And that pain, it actually acts like a natural brake on our spending. And look, this isn't just some vague idea. It has actually been measured. Research shows a really clear hierarchy here. Physically handing over cash? Yeah, that's the most painful way to pay. But swiping a credit card or tapping your phone, that hurts significantly less. It makes the transaction feel less real, which, of course, makes it easier to spend more.
This chart just drives the point home. When people were asked which payment method helps them stop overspending, well, look at the results. Cash is the clear winner, scoring a 4.2 out of 7. But look at debit cards, and especially contactless payments, they're way down at the bottom. The message from the data is loud and clear. The more physical and real the money feels, the more control we have.
So what's the bottom line here? It's that technology has been specifically designed to remove all the friction from spending. And when you remove the friction, you remove the pain. That simple tap to pay is so seamless, so effortless, that our brain barely even registers that we've spent anything. And that makes it dangerously easy to just keep tapping.
Okay, so we've got our brain's faulty calculator, and we've got the disappearing pain of paying. Let's move on to our final culprit, and this one's a biggie: raw, unfiltered emotion.
I mean, who hasn't heard of retail therapy, right? It's a real thing. When we feel down or stressed out, our brain is screaming for a quick hit of something good, a little dopamine boost. And shopping is a super easy way to get it. We buy something new, and for a split second, we feel better. It's an instant emotional lift. And that leads us to present bias. This is that classic battle inside your head, your present self versus your future self. Your present self is the one screaming, "I want that vacation now," while your poor future self is quietly whispering in the background, "Hey, we kind of need to save for a house." Guess who usually wins that argument? Yeah, the loud one. Okay, quick question.
Have you ever been on a diet, broken it with just one little cookie, and then immediately thought, well, I've already messed up, might as well eat the whole box? Well, guess what? The exact same thing happens with our budgets. It's actually called the what the hell effect. You make one tiny spending mistake, and your brain just throws its hands up and goes, well, the budget's shot for today, so what the hell? And that one little slip-up suddenly snowballs into a total collapse of self-control.
So, we have rounded up the usual suspects. We've exposed those invisible strings that are constantly tugging on our wallets. The big question now is, what do we do with this information? How can we actually use it?
I really want to leave you with this one last powerful idea, again inspired by Morgan Housel. We're so conditioned to see wealth as the stuff people buy, the fancy cars, the designer clothes. But real wealth is what you don't see. It's the cars that weren't bought, it's the money that's quietly working for you, growing in the background. So, let's do a quick recap of the 3 big invisible forces we've talked about. First, you've got your brain's own faulty calculator, with its weird mental buckets and its blind spots. Second, there's the whole frictionless economy, designed to make paying feel like nothing. And third, you have your emotional triggers. Retail therapy, that desire for instant gratification, and of course the what the hell effect.
Now, the whole point of this wasn't to hand you a strict budget. It was to give you something way more powerful, awareness. Because now that you can see these invisible strings pulling at your wallet, you can decide which one you want to cut first. You can start making choices with intention, not just on impulse. And really, that's where the power is.